Alright, might as well, as I'm making this answer key, make a recording of what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got a trapezoid. I know that. I should have said that these are parallel, but it looks like a trapezoid anyways. And the area for a trapezoid is 1/2 times the height times the sum of the bases. Do I know the height? Yeah, it's 8. Do I know the bases? Yeah, it's 3.3 and add 9.3. Alright, so 1/2 times 8 multiplies to be 4. And then we have 3.3 plus 9.3 is 12.6. Multiply those together. 50.4 square centimeters. Easy. Number 2, length times width. Which is 6 times 11.6. $69.6 square feet. This is the easy stuff. It's on the back page that it's a little bit harder. Number 3, same thing. That's a square. 36 square kilometers. Area of a parallelogram is base times height. We have a base, side that it sits on, 6.3. Multiply it by height all the way up to the top, 6. Multiply that out. Get 37.8 square feet. Five, area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. Base is the side it sits on that is perpendicular to the altitude. So that would be base is 6.3, altitude or height of 3.6. Multiply that all by 1/2. Using my calculator, 0.5 times 6.3 times 3.6, 11.34. That's going to be square yards. Alright, not too much so far. This one's going to be just like the other parallelogram. Base times height. .2 square centimeters. Good to go. Alright, this is where it gets a little bit weird. Now, what you know is, what we've been doing for these is drawing in the isosceles triangles. Well, the base of this isosceles triangle is 9.4, and the altitude they gave us. So that's easy, right? If we have a triangle, we know the base is 9.4, and the altitude they give us is 6.5. We can easily find that area, and then multiply it by how many triangles are there going to be? 5. So 1/2 times base of 9.4 times height of 6.5 times the number of triangles, which is 5. Multiply that out. Also check that I'm still recording. Good. 4 minutes in. Hopefully this isn't too long. 0.5 times 9.4 times 6.5 times 5. Alright, and multiply those out, I get an area of 152.75. That looks a little weird. And that's going to be square units. Don't know what the units are. Oh, another nice one. Good. So in this triangle we have a base of 15. I'm basically just redrawing it upside down. 21.8. Height of 15. Okay, and there would be, just like the last one, it's a pentagon times 5. So 1/2 times 21 base, 0.8, times 15 times 5. Let's get it. A 17.5 square units. Nine. Okay, so what we have is just the altitude of one of those triangles that would be drawn in. So what we're going to do is we are going to find just one of these central angles. What you realize is that there will be 6 triangles. So first thing I'm going to do is do 360, that center, divided by 6 to figure out what this angle would be, and that would be 60 degrees. Okay? So I've got 60 here. Now, looking at just that triangle on the bottom, I have 60 degrees. I have a height of 13. I don't know anything else. Now the thing is, because that's 60 degrees, and I know that each of these sides have to be equal, that means that these sides will also be equal, or these angles, excuse me, will also be equal. So you can say, all right, if this is x and this is both of them are x, say 60 plus x all have to be equal to 180. You end up solving for x, and you realize that this is 60. And now that I realize this, I'm going to go back a step because this is going to get really long if I use 30, 60, 90 triangle. And it's going to get kind of complicated. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to use trigonometry instead. Back up, sorry. I'm not going to edit this out because it wasn't wrong. It's just a little bit longer. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just look at 1/2 of this triangle. See how it's cut down the middle? This angle right here is 60. You cut it in half right there, you know that this is going to be 30 degrees. We know this side is 13. And what we need to know is the length of the base of this triangle. So whatever I get right here, I'm going to multiply it by 2 because these are both x. Okay? Now, that's 30 degrees. That's my angle of interest. Across is my opposite. And then over here is my hypotenuse, and then my adjacent right there. Now, I want to know my opposite. I have my adjacent. What am I going to use? Tangent. So I can say the tangent of 30 degrees, my angle of interest, equals opposite x over adjacent 13. Put this over 1, cross multiply. 1 times x is x. 13 times the tangent of 30 is 13. Tangent of 30. I'm going to be a little bit more specific, or less specific actually, because I'm going to put that in my calculator and see what it equals. 13 tangent of 30 equals 7.505. Now that was just x. Basically 7.5. So the whole base right there, that's twice that. I'm going to get 15 basically. So I know that each of these triangles is going to have a height of 13 and a base of 15. I can find the area of one of those triangles and multiply by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to do 1/2 times the bases of 15 times the height of 13 times 6. and I get an area of 585 square units. Pause this video right now if you need to. We're going to do the next one the same way. I'm going to look at just one triangle. Realize it gets cut in half by the altitude, which is going to be 11. And we're going to do the same math. Yep, same exact math because it's a hexagon also. So looking at just one of the right triangles. I have 11 on the side. I know that this is going to be 30 also because I did the original 360 divided by 6 for the triangles equals 60, realizing that this angle was 60. Half of that is 30. Arrow across the triangle. I have opposites. This is the adjacent. Still using tangent. Opposite x over adjacent 11. Cross multiply, you get x equals 11 times the tangent of 30. .35, but that's only half right there, so we have to multiply it by 2. And the whole length is 12.7. Now that I know the base and the height of one of these triangles, I can get it right there. So it's going to be 1/2 times the base of 12.7 times the height of 11 times how many triangles are there in there? 6. And I get 419.16. What did it say the round to? Nearest hundredth? I don't remember. One more. Couple more. I'm going to leave the last one for you. 11. 14 on the side. I recognize I'm still working with a hexagon. So I'm going to write 14 down here just because I like it when it's right side up. Okay, I need to find this height. I realize that this angle was 60, so this little angle right here, that's 30. This length is going to be 7, half of 14, and I'm trying to find my height. So I'm going to redraw my triangle. 7, don't know the height. No, this is 30. Once again, opposites and adjacent. We got the tangent again of 30 equals opposites 7 over adjacent x. Cross multiply, you get x times the tangent of 30. Equals 7 times 1, which is 7. Okay? Realize that tangent of 30, this whole thing is just a number that you're multiplying by x. So to get rid of it, since it's being multiplied, divide by the tangent of 30. Cross this out over here. I get x equals 7 divided by the tangent of 30, which is 12.12. Okay, now I'm going to go back here. I'm going to just redraw what I know. That was 14. I know the height is 12.12. So the area of one of those triangles is 1/2 times base of 14 times height of 12.12 times, how many are there? There's going to be 6. Get 509.04. One more going really quick. Wait a second, this is 30, 60, 90. Opposite the 30 side is your one side. Opposite the 60, you multiply this side by the square root of 3. Going to make it go a little bit quicker. Okay, now if we realize this is 6 square root of 3, I don't even have to use trigonometry. I can just use that. If you use trigonometry, you're going to get decimal. That's okay. Area is 1/2 times the base of 12 times the height of 6 square root of 3 times how many are there? There's going to be 6 of those triangles. Multiply all the numbers out, you get 216 times the square root of 3. If you multiply 216 times the square root of 3, you get 374.12. I'll take either one of these answers. If you recognize that you have special right triangles, that's awesome. Okay, that's all I'm doing for you guys. Back up, stop this video wherever you need to help you.